Hey, and welcome to Tipper Truck TV. This is the crazy channel that I started several years ago to feature my favorite set, the Tipper Truck from 1976. Actually, originally came out in 1974 as set 612, the set 435. I'm going to be building 10 of these in this video, and I'm going to be talking about stupid comments that I've gotten recently. And some good things. So first of all, let's start out with the good. We got a submission from Mimi Don Do Lego, and they showed some pictures of their tipper truck in the wild. And I encourage you to send your images of your tipper truck in front of various landmarks with your collection or whatever you want to share it with, as long as it's appropriate for YouTube. But this is Mimi Don Do Lego shows the tipper truck with the world's largest fiddle. I think that was Sydney, Nova Scotia, and then they also took it camping with them at camp. Oh, it's in Nova Scotia. If I remember, I'll put the name of the place. But beautiful scenic place up there, Nova Scotia. That's Canada, right? I'm terrible at geography, but beautiful. And these are exactly the types of pictures that I'm looking for. I mean, taking it camping with you, the tipper truck, your tipper truck camping, and then something unusual like that large fiddle there. So I've never been to Nova Scotia, but your tipper truck has, and now we got images to share. So I'm going to be building 10 tipper trucks in this video. So even though this set came out 50 years ago, I mean the 1976, that's I need a few extra hands. That's 50 years ago. And then the original one's 52 years ago. So despite that, despite the fact that it came out 50 years ago, somehow I am keeping people from getting this somehow. And yet I still continue to buy it. So I don't know how I'm also keeping people from buying it, but I'm also buying it. I'm like, doesn't make any sense. Well, actually, what I would love if more people had the tipper truck and did share images like Mimi Don Do Lego did. That's so hard for me to say, because it's just a fun thing to do. It's different. It's not the same, and I think that's what the appeal is. It's just unusual. And then maybe getting those weird looks from people as you're sitting there. I'm going to move this tipper truck over here so I don't get it mixed up with the new ones. This is the one that I opened up in the early videos. But it just amazes me that here in 2026 on the internet, there are still people who get all upset about stuff like this. I'm like, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect anybody else. I'm not doing anything bad. I'm not preventing people from enjoying the hobby. I'm encouraging people. I'm encouraging people to do the same thing I'm doing. I'm not encouraging them to get thousands of tippers, but get at least one for your collection. That's all you really need. That's why it's actually what I started. Is like the channel. You look at some of the early videos. It says all you need is one, and then I proceeded to get 2,000. But. And yeah, and again, I guess when I started this channel, this was the only Lego I was going to feature, is this one Lego set. I've already done that. I just got to put the bucket on it. But you know, I said, you know what? It's Tipper Truck TV. It's about tipper trucks. I'm going to be sharing your tipper trucks on this channel. So let me do this. It's hard to build and talk. There's only 17 pieces in this set, but I average about like $4 to piece this together, and really the most expensive piece is this, a 4x10 plate, discontinued, or it hasn't been re-released. I'm sure at some point Lego's going to reintroduce this, because they make 4x10 plates still. They just haven't made it in red in 26 years. All these parts over here are common. These are like 3 cents or less pieces, because they're just common bricks and plates. Everything over here is discontinued. The bucket, the windshield, the mini wheels, and the windshields, and the 4x10 plate. I don't count it as discontinued, because I do think eventually Lego will break down and put a 4x10 plate in some set in the future. But these parts are never, none of these will ever come back, ever. It's pretty much a guarantee. So, and yet, despite all of these parts being discontinued, I can build one for about $4, sometimes less, depending on what I found. The bucket, easily can find it for 50 cents or less, 10 cents, 5 cents, 5 cents, 20 cents, maybe 50 cents to $1 for this, and pennies. Actually, maybe you can piece this together for like $2.50. I mean, it's not rare. Nothing's rare about it. And I don't know why it bothers people. I mean, literally, I got comments on my last video. People were upset or were calling me names. And if you're calling me names, that means you're upset. You can act like it's not bothering you. But if you resort to name calling, you can. I mean, yeah, I see things people collect that I don't collect. I don't call them stupid. I don't like Pokemon. People are going to be going crazy over the Lego Pokemon sets. That's okay. That's what they like to collect. I collect tipper trucks. I collect Thomas the Tank Engine. I collect trains. I collect slot cars. I don't expect all people to like all of those things. There will be some people that like one of the things that I like, and that's okay. Nobody has to like everything you like in order for them to be your friend. My wife is not interested in a lot of things I'm interested in. That's okay. We can still like each other. It's just so in taking it from the perspective that like somehow I'm keeping other people from getting the set, you had 50 years to get one, first of all. So I don't know how I am hoarding these all of a sudden, but how can you hoard something that hasn't been made in 50 years? It's just, yeah, I do want to see what it will be like for all of them to be off the market. You know, some people might be like, there's some guy that collects Pokemon. I only know this from comment on my channel, where he's buying one type of card that's pretty much, I guess, worthless or common. He's just buying them all up. And that makes no sense to me because I was a trading card collector, not just baseball cards, sports cards, but I collected all kinds of trading cards back in the, they call it the junk wax era. I didn't know I was in the junk wax era when I was in the junk wax era, but cards were being overproduced, and they're pretty much worthless now, 35 years later, 40 years almost. So anyway, so he's buying this one particular Pokemon card and just trying to get all of them off the market. But the thing is, you do that, who are you going to sell it to? If that's what your goal is, if you want to resell it. Maybe that's not his goal. Like, my goal is not to resell these. I'm not buying all these up, so all of a sudden it's going to be worth $20 instead of $2. That's not the end game here. The end game here is to make an unusual video featuring as many of these as possible. And so I do plan on doing that this year. In fact, now that I've cleaned up the basement, I don't know how many I can display on the floor in the basement. Probably not all of them. I may, but it'll. I wanted to set these up outside, do a video with all of the tipper trucks outside, because that's the only place I have space is outside, not inside. And but the problem with doing it outside is the weather, setting it up, and then you got to take it back down. You don't want to leave it out overnight, so I'd have to, you know, I knew it was going to be a lot of work, so I haven't done that. But if I could set up a lot here in the basement on the floor, and then get that set up, and then I could extend it outside, and I wouldn't have as much to do where I worry about the weather. But this has been, you know, it's been fun collecting these. I initially, if you go back to some of the early Brickzar videos where I was starting to grow this collection, which it's probably been like 5 or more years ago. Was it during the pandemic I started doing this? I can't remember. But my goal that year was to get 200. And once I got to 200, I was like, okay, let's do one for every day of the year, 365 days. So I get 360. And then it's like, well, let's just see how many we can get. And so we did a show, one of the last, I think it was one of the last, yeah, I caused Brick Fair, Alabama to die by doing a tipper truck collection video. We had over 700 at that time. We took them to Brick Fair, Alabama. Got a video somewhere featuring that on Brickzar's channel, because that was before I started this channel. So yeah, we had 700 on a table, all crammed together on a table. I needed more tables. I didn't realize how many tables it was going to take to have them fully spread out. And so then, you know, once you get to 700, you're like, okay, let's get to 1,000. And then I like doing things in multiples of powers of 2. So, you know, you get to 1,024, and I said, well, the next power of 2 is 2,048. So I started working towards 2,048. Got to it quicker than I thought I could. So that was surprising. So I don't have any like number goal as far as this. We're just, my goal, the end game for this is there to be none available for sale on Bricklink. And when I say none available for sale, I'm not just talking about the set. When I buy these tipper trucks, I almost never at this point buy from people that have a completed one. I buy the parts and build it from the part. And that's the way I recommend you to do it, is just get the rare parts, get the other parts from your collection, and build it. And so, yeah, it doesn't cost much to do that. But if you buy one now, it's pretty much, used to find people selling these for like $5, maybe 10. And that's, you know, 10's not a terrible price to pay for it, but now they're getting where they're like 20, 15 to 20 or more. Sometimes people are asking for them, and I don't want to pay that. So eventually, once all the buckets are gone, yeah, then my only option would be to buy the sets, and I don't want to pay the price that people are asking. And I'm not saying people are asking unfair prices, but when you're building something at this scale, this amount, yeah, you don't want to pay the higher prices. And I have been fortunate too, where I've had a lot of people who have donated to the obsession, and I appreciate that. And that has helped, especially getting stuff from Europe. I've had several people donate things, and but again, I want everybody to have one, at least one. I don't want people to not be able to get one, which would, I guess that technically would happen once all of them are off of the market. But then I wouldn't be able to buy any more either. Oh, we're up to the last one. So it's just 17 pieces. It just strikes me at odd that people would be upset that I'm collecting this. Are you upset that people build a clone army with thousands of clone troopers? I mean, I've seen clone armies that have way more. I didn't used to in the day, but there would be people that have their clone army be like 1,000 clone troopers from Star Wars, and I would have 1,000 tipper trucks. I always wanted to have more tipper trucks than they had clones. But it's so much. The thing with the clones is, even though technically they're probably more expensive to build one clone than it is one tipper truck in some cases. I mean, I saw somebody, it was a team of people, they bought like 2,000 of the battle pack to build a clone army. That's like 2,000. But see, those are sets that are currently in production. So even though it's still more expensive to do than this, it's easier as far as access to the product. Because if I was to, you cannot go and buy 2,000 tipper trucks right now. There are only, I haven't looked today as of the filming of this video, but there were less than 600 buckets available on Bricklink in all the world, and counting people that don't ship to me. And I think there were like 375 different sellers that had the blue bucket. So it's scarce. Oh, there. So we built 10 tippers. How does this work when you do the pyramid? So it's, yeah, it's the bowling pins of tipper trucks. So just wanted to do that little, it's kind of like my first rant here on Tipper Truck TV is like, why would this bother you? It doesn't affect you. And you can call me stupid, you can call me names, It's okay. I just realized I was interacting with these people, and I was like, I haven't had to do this in a while. This one thing, in the early days of YouTube, you get a lot of hateful, mean comments. I haven't got those very many of those in recent years. It may be because of the spam filters, because sometimes if you call people names, it filters them out. And even if you're not referring to the person, you're just saying something stupid. That who thought of that? An idiot. And sometimes the spam filter takes it out. But what it comes down to is who's the bigger fool, the fool, or the fool that talks to the fool? So, or tries to reason with the fool. So I'm not going to be that person right now, but I just made a foolish video, I guess. It's okay. Anyway, thank you for watching. And again, if you want to submit your pictures of your tipper truck in the wild, I'd love to see them, love to share here on the channel. And we'll see how this goes. I really should have a Facebook page where people can share. Oh, and I have communities, so people can share in the communities as long as it's appropriate. It's got to be tipper truck related. It can't be just random pics. I've in the communities, I've had to delete stuff, even though I don't get a lot of posts. I don't even think people know that communities exist. But I'd rather share it in a video where I can talk about it. So thank you, Mimi, Don, Do, Lego, for those images. I got another one that we're going to be sharing in the next video from one of our favorite YouTubers. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video with more tipper